Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee is going to speak right now.
I don't pretend to suggest that I will draw any more affirmation, but I am going to try to capture what I believe each and every one of you deserve, and that is in-depth understanding of where we are. This is going to be a difficult process, and I'm very grateful for those who have come. Let me acknowledge Congressman Al Green. This is his congressional district in Westbury High. Let me acknowledge Ms. Delaney, who's been working with HISD for a period of time. The executive officer, a lot of HISD personnel here. And let me also acknowledge what Deputy Commissioner Delgado was trying to do. If I might interpret the anxiety of workers that include our parents who work every day and pay their taxes so that they can have an excellent education for their children, the teachers who sacrifice every day, love their children, and are proud of their success. Let me acknowledge supporters. Let me acknowledge our support workers and bus drivers and the union workers who fight every day, and I use the term fight in a way that is good. Fight for our children, make sure they get to school, listen to some of their concerns, because if you're around children, you need to absorb them. You need to be a sponge. And I said teachers, administrators, the school board trustees who have sought a level of stabilization, and of course, the present superintendent who is working, and at least these individuals are responsive, or let me just say, are responsible to all of you. I want Mr. Delgado to know that it is not a personal opposition, but it is a giant of an opposition. As a member of the United States Congress, I want to bring people together, but I want to be able to speak the truth, and just give me a moment. Give me a moment. I love that. On the floor of the House, they gavel you down and I keep talking. The moment is that we are absolutely and conspicuously with the majority. Let me not say that there are those who say, well, let's see what will happen. But let me speak for myself and what I've gleaned from people that I have encountered who are the parents of teachers, the parents and teachers, parents of children, that we're opposed to the approach of the takeover. We're absolutely opposed to the approach. We want to be problem solvers. I was a PTO mother. My children are HISD graduates, and they are self-supporting right now. I'm proud of my children. My grandchildren are in HISD, but I see all of these children as our children. And so I realize that we are dealing, and Deputy Commissioner Delgado is dealing with a law that he and Commissioner Morath believes drives them to this point. I want to just give them a historical perspective. Can you believe that we held on to the 7th or 8th largest district? The doors of our schools stayed open to the most catastrophic period that most of us have experienced in our lifetime, short of war on our soil, and that was a pandemic. Can you imagine that we held on? That our parents held on, that NGOs held on by maybe helping and opening the door, that parents either were off from work, missed work, but they did whatever they could to keep their children learning. And you still taught. Teachers taught. Let me be very clear. Even though you had some unsmiling faces, they were there in front listening to you. It was a difficult time. I really think TEA and the governor of the state of Texas should take into consideration the challenges that we overcame during the pandemic. So let me look at the law. Let me make sure. And let me give credit to my good friend, Representative Jones. We were in Austin last week to sit in the room with Commissioner Morath to find out the why. And as Deputy Delgado, he is doing what he's supposed to do. I'm sure we'll be good friends in working for the repair of many school districts around the state. You can repair and you can restore, but you don't have to end. You can repair and restore and you don't have to end. And for some reason, I continue to be baffled by Texas Education Code section 390546, which is related to SB 1365, courtesy of my state representative. And I'm going to take this back to Washington, but the provisions in question say is not assigned an overall performance rating or a C or higher for the 2022 school year and has been assigned an unacceptable performance rating for 5 or more school years prior to 2021. I think you can argue those years because they were broken years. But the provisions say and the rating for Wheatley, the school in question, even though when you will speak to TEA, they will mention that there are a dozen or so that are not performed, but the school in question, and in the law, the target of your litigation, you can't go and say, now I'm in the courtroom, let me go sue 25 other people that are not named, because I feel like it, because they too are a problem. You came to court on one case. You came to court on Wheatley High School. Wheatley High School is at a C right now. So the message we want you to understand, I don't think you're in compliance with the education code. In addition, I don't want to stand here and somebody says, oh, she doesn't mind other children not meeting the test. No, I am ready to get to work. Recruiting teachers nationally. We have a national commitment to raise teacher salaries. Providing parents with extra resources on the question of connectedness on the internet, making sure every child can be connected at home and in school. Realizing that we are asking you to give us time based upon plans that the school board has by way of the fact that parents can actually go to the school board and express their agreement or disagreement, speak to their school board member. We can refine the plan. You can tell us what are the underperforming schools. Some of them are elementary schools. That gives us a greater opportunity. But there is rumor that there are other schools on the margin in the state of Texas, and those schools are not being attacked. This room is a room that is expressing the face of Houston. It is a diverse room. I don't know people who are agreeing or disagreeing, but they're listening. I want you just to think about what would be the pathway for us to work together as parents. TEA gets the money from the Department of Education that we give. It is the Department of Education only gets certain federal funds. The state is supposed to be responsible for school funding. We have national reports, and I don't want to be like I'm going in a circle. I just want to give you a bunch of facts that shows that we have consistently underfunded from the state per capita. We have been between 40 and 50. In 2021, we were number 40, and we were underfunded about $4,000 per capita. Parents are still paying their taxes. So the state legislature, Representative Reynolds, has introduced a bill that would give the commissioner discretion to not do a takeover. By the way, you know his options, he says, would be to totally close Wheatley or to take over the school or to take over the school district. I've argued with him that I believe he has the ability administratively to pause his decision, to suspend his decision, with the caveat of specific deadlines, specific markers, 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, to be able to look at the landscape of our schools and to get in there and do what we do well, teach our children, encourage our children. But let me say this out of the newspaper, and I'm going to, because let me thank the Chronicle. Let me give them a credit. They have mentioned that not only did you go over and succeed in the pandemic, but teachers have indicated that the state now is getting ready to change the formula. They're insisting on the STAR test. They're not letting the children breathe. After the pandemic, you're going to come down hard on these children and teachers when they have been miraculous and they have gotten through the pandemic. And you're changing the rating. The other thing is, they're saying that the conditions are going to be easy. They're not. To get out of the Board of Managers. Let me let you hear what they say. In order to get out of them, no campuses should get failing grades for multiple years. We'll be in this for the rest of our lives. Because multiple years could be 2 years. Then this school comes out, then another school goes in. Who knows? We'll never get to breathe and to help those schools come out of failing grades. And failing grades is not every child failing. Failing grades is not an incompetent school. It is a number that's based upon some of the children in the STAR test, but really the percentages of children like in reading, and there could be people who are excelling in art and music, so excelling in math and not excelling in reading. I'll be finished in a moment. Special education. We owe an obligation to parents that need special education. But why doesn't the state come in with increased funding, specialized teachers, and help us focus even more on special education? Because the state was the one that the Department of Education sued or took to task because overall they were bad in the entire state on special education. And then the last thing, of course, is governance. And I can assure you, if the board was given the time and said, these are the markers that you have to do, they could do it. So, having taken a lot of your time, I'm going to ask Mr. Delgado, I'm not sure what you're doing. Are you answering questions that have been handed in? What are these questions?
Yes, ma'am. So,
Yeah.
the private opportunity to ask questions, and we'll try to answer as many as we can.
Okay, say it again.
The private opportunity to write down their own questions.
Okay. Yeah. Let me do this. As he said, the meeting is about over in 4 minutes. Let me, can I just get, let me do this. We can't get, is there somebody can stand up and ask one question that Mr. Delgado has not answered? He was going through this list. I don't know whose list they are. Will you be able to respond to these? Are there names on them, sir? How will you, why don't I yield to you? How would you be able to answer them?
As mentioned in our presentation, we will post the answers to these questions on our website, on the HISD Board of Manager website, that are in relation to the application and selection process.
Okay. All right. So are these questions on the application process? Okay. Will you not post the answers to those? Okay. I'm going, hold on one moment. I'm going to ask Morath to answer these questions to be able to put them online, but because that's what they're taking back, but they're only going to answer questions, which I'm absolutely opposed, that they would come and answer only questions on the Board of Managers. You are owed answers about the takeover. Let me get order for just a moment. The meeting is almost over, but I think Commissioner Morath needs to know he cannot have meetings like this and not answer your question. Okay. I will be in Washington tomorrow. When I leave here, I'll be getting on the phone with him and telling him, you have to answer the parents' questions. This is the only opportunity you have had to get your questions answered. So let me close. I'll do an apology. You were going on for a period of time. I think it took about 6 minutes. I hope it wasn't 10. But let me just say this. I'm absolutely opposed at this moment. The Board of Managers will not be responsive to teachers, parents, or children. I do want the school board to be responsive to you. I want your children to have the best education. I think we can do it as a community. I think we can do it as schools. And I think we can do it together, working with the board and our teachers and working with our children. Give our children a chance. Give our children a chance, and our ratings will grow up. Let me say, just give us a chance. The Board of Managers will be selected by Mr. Morath. The Board of Managers will be selected by Mr. Morath. I will let him answer. Thank you. Yeah, that'll be your last question. Let me yield to this gentleman. My fight is for you and alongside of you. I believe we're going to be victorious. Not going to have this school district taken over. He wants to know if he just wants to know how you will select. Okay, and I'm just going to listen to that.
I appreciate you.
Yeah. He's going to answer that question.
Congresswoman, thank you for your time. We appreciate you. So the Board of Managers will be selected by Commissioner Morath based on the profile that we reviewed earlier today, and will be selected no earlier than June 1st.